Okay. This is a hero that has quite a high win rate right now
doing really well.
in the tournament. And Alchemist.
Okay.
I'm not too sure about the Alch, because Templar in the laning stage is quite good, and for DC, they're this team that like to play on high tempo, you know? They want to be able to pressure the enemy. If you have Alchemist, it's very hard to pressure the enemy in the way that they want to do it. You can pressure them through farm, but it's not the same.
What if they do like Alch safe lane, silencer mid to counter the TA refraction?
That's actually
That's like
really
one of the best
good.
TA mid matchup counters.
It's TA cannot lane against a silencer mid.
But I'm not sure if they'll do that, but it's a possibility.
It is a possibility.
I have no idea who picked what. Someone want to flip a coin for me, or no? I'll pull this up once.
Conrad, we'll start with you.
I mean, personally, I think Digital Chaos, they've just been playing really well. I really like the momentum that they're bringing. I have a lot of faith in this Alch pick. We saw it a couple other games. We saw it, and I think for me, Digital Chaos is the one to go.
Okay.
It's gonna come down to how they lane and do whatever. But if I was to just look at the draft, I would want to play TNC's lineup.
Okay.
To go with TNC.
All right. TNC for you.
I was going to pick TC, I think. I see a lot of friction coming from the silencer, global silence, and I'm not sure that the Dazzle can make it work to keep everybody alive because of that. So
okay.
I like DC's draft.
So DC for Purge at the end. So 2 for DC and 1 for TNC. Someone's got to be right as we head into game number 2. And if DC do pull it out, they will, of course, end the tournament with a positive record. It'll be 2-0 in their final game against TNC. Let's find out whether they can pull it off as we head back to our commentary team for game number 2.
Thank you very much, Red Eye. Indeed, game 2 now coming up between the sides of DC, TNC. The draft is out. We're seeing the Alchemist. If you were watching the other stream, I believe you would have caught some OG games with it today. But DC bringing it forward in terms of the roles. You know, Arbed will be playing the Alch. You're going to see Mason on the carry Venge, Demon playing the support Silencer. Interesting stuff from DC and TNC themselves. They've got that classic minus armor strat, the Weaver, Dazzle, TA combination. What's the thoughts, Gods? Is this an out game?
Well, you know, I haven't seen Alk in a while. I've missed him. Haven't you?
I've missed him too. I've had nightmare dreams.
Dreams, yes.
Dreams of the yellow
fantasies.
Bugger. Oh no.
Okay.
That's a different ogre. Good old Shrek. But anyway, guys, we're into the game. DC had a very strong game 1. Do you think, is there a potential that we're going to see kind of the lanes, Arbed, have that sort of a start again in this matchup, or is it going to be a bit harder?
His team's going to try and put a lot of pressure on to help him because they're going aggro tri-lane. They've got all the boys going up top. Mason, Demon, and Dubu ready to try and do what they can up there, giving Bulba a 1v1. Legion versus Axe, something kind of theorycraft in the panel a bit. How's it going to go? 1437 wasn't really a big fan of how this matchup works for the Axe once like the blade mails and stuff come online against the spins, but will be tested a bit this game, and TNC are going to have to secure this top safe lane. They're going to need the Monkey King to head up there as soon as possible.
Oh,
yeah, Weaver's not going to have fun here.
Pretty sweet though. Mason actually, I went for Magic Missile attempt, but Raven very quick with the Shikuchi to dodge it immediately. Tims will rotate across, and we'll see if they can do anything indeed to try and stop the aggression that's going to be coming out from DC with this lane decision.
Interesting he went for the tree dance. He actually held his point and then still went for the tree dance. I thought he might go for the Jingu and just try and trade hits a bit, but seems to want to catch him by surprise with a Primal Spring.
Demon could be in trouble here, jumping in. Demon will try for the TP out. Is he actually going to make it in time? He does, Demon. Just getting out. But at the same time, mid lane a bit of action as Cuckoo will force Arbed back. Not quite enough damage to bring him down. But that go on top, Demon. I can't believe he got out with that TP. He was surrounded by 3 of them. Very close.
Magic Missile saved his life. Really just that. If not for that Magic Missile, one more right click from Monkey King would have been enough damage. They would have got the kill. So I think DC decide with the Monkey King rocking up top, this lane is not going to work. TP to the bottom from Mason's Venge, and DC have decided to change their lanes.
Mid lane, CS-wise at least between the 2 of them, very close. Bang on at the moment. Dubu, again with the rotation, still just at level 1. So we'll be just a little bit of right-click harassment onto Cuckoo, who will be quick to trade it back to Dubu. And force the Riki back.
Yep. It's going to be a tough matchup for Alkin mid at the very early levels when that aggressive TA side blades comes out, but that Arbed survived it. He's come out stronger on the other side. We'll get his bottle soon, start picking up some bounty runes. Things should be pretty fine for the Alchemist. Straight up 1v1 against TA from here on out. Problem is TA can kind of match the Alch's farm with ancient stacks and just doing everything that TA does, you actually don't really lose the farm battle for quite some time against the Alk. It's only once like the Radiance Manta comes online that the Alk really pulls ahead. Early stages TA can do pretty well just through her farming efficiency.
And Tubu to head down bottom and just have eyes on Sam H. Not really a lot that he can do against an Axe. And indeed, Demon and Mason, as you mentioned, sitting in this lane, making sure that Mason gets the farm. But at the same time, this has got to be kind of good news for TNC, isn't it? They know that on this top lane now, they themselves, the Weaver is going to have a pretty fine old time. Bulba will find something, but he's unlikely to be able to press the Weaver out of the lane.
Yeah, like something panel mentioned that you can do with the Monkey is just using to zone the Leech as much as possible. But no level 2, no Jingu. Makes it a little bit trickier to do just that, but Dazzle wants to pair up with this Axe, offers him some support, help him have a better lane, has been stacking his neutral camps even a little bit. There's some good farm for Sam H to work with here to ensure that he gets a pretty good time on his Blink Dagger. Another almost kill mid. Cuckoo got pretty aggressive there once again, and we are starting to see Abed struggle to maintain his HP in this mid lane.
Yeah, he's got to head back to base with the Shrine already used, and gold not quite there for him. Bottom lane, Sam H now with the backup of Rio, who's come across on the Dazzle. We'll get the Crypt D ward, maintain control of this lane so they can have eyes on Dubu's movements. It will remain down here at the moment. Keeping eyes on the attempt to pull through and will interrupt it. Bulba shrining up on the top lane, but again, Tim's with his positioning, making sure that he keeps tabs on the movement, and sneaky Monkey gets himself the bounty rune steal.
Yep. A little bit annoying, but ultimately Tim's, I feel, is not really completely shut down in this Legion by any means. Bulba's still got his levels, got some farm. He's handling himself all right here, so probably see Monkey King after maybe another minute or two just leave Raven alone to solo and go from there. Look to maybe set up some kills in this mid lane around Cuckoo hitting level 6 once the traps come into play. If he can hit, he is going to hit 6 before Alchemist. There is a timing where you can play for the kills.
Bottom lane, we saw DC think about making a go onto the Axe, but they have to be careful with Rio there. They know that they can't kill Sam H with Rio being there with potential backup.
Interesting to see no points in the call. Went for a very early Battle Hunger with 2 points in spin at level 3 on Sam H. Just tries to trade hits, go run in. He knows he's got a salve. He's got some good HP regen to back this up and the Dazzle to protect him, but doesn't find a kill, and both him and the Avenge will both salve up and be back to full HP. So kind of negating the harass that went down.
Looking at the CS as well at this stage, it's both cores of TNC at the top.
Yep.
Raven and Cuckoo hitting that 30 CS mark. And indeed the biggest disparity being the difference between Raven and Mason.
Alk CS is also a little bit inflated. Some of that is neutrals, not really from like the medium camp as well, so perhaps not totally accurate. Nice Radiant scan, will find Monkey King. He swings spin. This is what I talked about. TA can hit level 6 before Alk, and not quite there yet, but he's very close. I think this wave will be the level 6, and with the Psionic traps and the Monkey King rotation, you can find a kill on the mid Alk. Annoying stuff from Dubu. Just leech this XP. Hey, will he find a kill?
I mean, Sam H is falling very low here. It'll drop the smoke screen.
Yeah.
Dubu himself has to be careful here.
That was a misplay from Dubu.
It looks like he will survive as Sam a little slow with the call there, and Dubu will be out of range of any sort of vision that they have. At the same time, down bottom, Tim's nearly finding himself a curry. In fact, with the jump forward, has he got the spring? No, it looks like that. Still unavailable. Yeah, he couldn't jump down in range to pick it off. But TNC getting aggression, and Dubu, yeah, maybe just overestimating the potential he had with that Ricky. As he is still just level 2.
Yeah, not really a whole lot of damage onto the Axe there to really kill him off with, and lucky to perhaps survive that one, but ultimately gets the XP and gets away with it, so the end result is actually pretty decent for him. But still perhaps concerns over Abed being pressured right now. Still not level 6 TA, free farming. DD rune, this is a dangerous rune. You can either farm with it, or you can just look for some kills.
Top lane, a bit of a whiff there from Raven. Will miss the bugs, and maybe with those bugs connecting, they could have chased Bulba down. So TNC won't get the kill that they were potentially hoping for with Tim's making the movement up towards that top tier 1.
Absolutely. Bulba will head back, shrine up, and probably return to lane. But yeah, lane stage going very well for TNC. The free farm on TA, the Weaver, off lane on the Axe, you're farming neutrals and the lane. So all in all, very good start for the Filipino side.
Yeah, but a very, very different opening in comparison to what we saw in
Oh,
Kiev.
RT.
Cuckoo's coming into the jungle here.
As the setup on the bottom, onto Sam H, the smoke screen as well, trying to prolong the potential Berserker's call. And Sam H will just simply look to get out of there. And he will just survive. Again, this combination, very hard to bring down with Rio there. Very good with the backup and the sustain to make sure that Sam's able to walk home safely.
At the mid lane, the TA stole the Aux double stack at the big camp, so a lot of Aux farm that he'd been saving up for himself was denied. That was a great use of the DD rune. He invaded the Aux as he's trying to farm it. He takes the camps.
And bottom lane, look at this. TNC getting aggressive. Mason, he's going to be bashed up here. Tims gets the Jinju built up. The Battle Hunger should end up finishing off Mason, I believe. Dubu goes down. Mason indeed does fall to the damage over time from Sam H. And TNC getting aggressive on the bottom and punishing DC.
Yep.
2-0, 8 minutes in. And it's just the question of what do Digital Chaos do to deal with this succession of just a constant aggression on lane after lane from TNC.
Yeah, you have a terrible laning stage where you, let's say you lose 3 lanes, perhaps bottom lane, you could argue. I mean, Venge is out farming Axe, so there is a CS advantage going DC's way, but you've got to make a smoke move, and that's going to come from... Venge is really the hero with the stun, so it's your safe lane farmer, but it actually is the hero that needs to get involved in smoke ganks.
Yeah, and he is up to the top lane.
If you want to find something, and...
Looking for Raven, and
Oh,
quick
what a
with
reaction,
the Shikuchi.
yeah.
Very apparent. I believe as soon as he saw the Legion move away from the creep wave, he knew that something was up.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he saw the Venge or not, but it looked like it was perhaps even just the Legion doing it. And at that point, he knows the way he dies is if there's a smoke screen into like a Jewel, a Venge even pops out with a stun. That's how he can get picked off. So Raven, very heads up play.
I mean, DC, with this amount of stuns, they could dive it if they see the opportunity
this is,
to.
Not really the optimal place to be against the Iron Talon that can chop his way through those trees.
Look how deep Cuckoo's going. And with the slow and the fact that Tims has jumped across as well, Arbed in a lot of trouble. The Chemical Rage regen not enough to keep him alive. And TNC diving in for that kill. Just reading the map, knowing that the backup's unlikely to come because DC were looking to put pressure on Raven up top.
Yep. They also, I think, have recognized that Demon is alone at this bottom lane, so Sam H should play hyper-aggressive. With level 6, he can perhaps easily get a solo kill, or at least put some good pressure on this tower. So things across the board looking very good for TNC here. Alchemist really needs to find some... It's less about finding farm and just saying, okay, guys, I'm just going to farm my Radiance. It's more about his team actually creating that space to allow him to farm. And problem is, you haven't got level 6 on Silencer. It's just going to hit it now, so Global perhaps gives him an extra tool to try and make some ganks with. But yeah, it's going to be tough.
Top lane, Raven. We'll play around with Mason, who immediately goes for the TP as he sees any sort of chance of the turnaround coming in. Mid lane, Cuckoo, bringing Dubu down low. No detection on him himself. Sam H actually has an Invis rune, and he's looking for Arbed. He'd have to get very lucky with the spins to do it on his own.
He may just call
If
the TA
TA's
in.
yeah.
Yeah, there's no tower, so he doesn't see the TA coming.
They don't have the vision, so
Oh,
Cuckoo can come across, but okay.
Abed's not. It's not that he knows the gank's coming. He actually just wanted to farm mid lane.
Yeah. He's like, ooh, creeps it, but yeah, a little bit easier than the neutrals, but Cuckoo will clean them up. Dubu's now come across as well. They don't know that Sam H is there. There's the opening with the Berserker's Call. He needs some sort of a backup, but it's TNC that have their own with Tims coming in with a boundless strike. They'll bring down Arbed.
They're going to find Dubu as well. I think they got him
yeah,
with
they got the
dust,
dust. He will have the blink to the demon. That will keep him alive. But these kills onto the Alchemist is exactly what TNC need to be doing. Something that they struggled to do in game 1 against Arbed. Having a much easier time doing so far. And Tim's on the Monkey King, just having a much better start than he did on the Earth Spirit in game 1.
This is the ideal way to be playing against Alk. Contesting his farm, contesting his jungle early on. Even if you're winning 2 of the 3 lanes, like if you're dominating top, bottom, but not stopping the Alk from farming, you're not really in the. You're not really winning the game. I mean, you're going to be in for a
bottom
close
lane,
one.
Mason's just a freebie here for the side of TNC. Tim's again TPing down, jumping forward, allowing Sam H to close the gap.
And they're looking for kind of Raven, pseudo looking for him at the top lane, but don't really feel like their heart's in this one. Bulba's probably just more keen on farming the lane, trying to get his Blink Dagger up. And until they've got that Blink, it's hard to make these moves. They're relying on smoke. Like earlier, it was smoking with Avenge as a core hero to try and initiate with phase boost. So the Blink Dagger is not going to come all that fast. So it really feels like DC, they're down, they're losing the lanes, they're getting out farmed, they're getting constantly roamed on, and there's not a whole lot of easy plays to make to stop that from happening. They're going to keep on trying to commit to this top lane, but this is the beauty of this Weaver pick, is they can sit in the safe lane alone, and it's pretty resilient. It's very hard to gank.
Rio's there as well with backup if Raven does get dove upon. They do have the global silence though, as you mentioned. We yet to really see that come into play. This pickoff could be where it does so if they can find a way to go in. But DC, they moved 5 members up here, and already they're starting to send 2 back home. It just feels like a waste of time.
It gets dewarded immediately, but that still reveals what's going on. So, I mean, it kind of confirms their suspicion. They used to scan an observer ward and had the dazzle up top. So they kind of know what's going on on up top. Raven shows it. He was farming with Shikuchi. He wasn't even trying to right-click to farm. He would just Shikuchi, time the damage, get the last hit, then run away. So TNC fully aware that DC, their comeback play is to try and find a kill up top, try and use perhaps a duel into global silence, into whatever it may be, and get a kill. And, well, they're there. They're anticipated. They may lose a ward and it gets dewarded, but ultimately they don't give up any kills, and that's the big thing.
It's at this stage of the game just such a huge difference between the Alchemist and the TA. TA with double the CS at the out. He's about 2,500 net worth ahead. Cuckoo in a very strong position, and Abed, he's weak and he needs protection. There will be a silencer trying to come through and do something to hold them off, but there's very little Demon can. As they lose Abed again, there'll be a swap back from Mason. They do catch Cuckoo with the global and the duel. They'll find themselves a very big kill in return, DC. Bringing down Cuckoo, who was miles ahead of everyone else so far this game, but they're still losing Abed. They need to find that space for Abed.
Yep. A little bit far, they just kind of have their eyes glistening. You see an Alk and you know you can kill him and you think, all right, let's just go for this. But killing an Alk and losing a TA, I mean, if the heroes are both farming well, like that's fine. But when your TA is miles ahead of the Alk, you've already shut him down. It's not really worth it in that scenario for TNC. And an immediate smoke. Unfortunately for DC, they do this under a ward, so TNC not going to be caught out by this one would presume.
They will deny the tower. Bulba very close to the blink pickup himself.
I mean, TNC have so many options how they can group up, players 5, smoke themselves, take Roshan. They've got the Deso on TA.
They could actually, yeah. This could catch DC off guard. DC are still smoked. It depends if they want to just go for that check around the pit. They don't have the global silence.
Both teams ward it. The sentry sees the dire ward, but doesn't.
I think is Duba going to check it? Oh, Cuckoo. Oh, he actually heads out because they just take the pick first.
Take the pick and continue. You can continue Roche. You've denied a lot of the vision. Just play around the refraction. The swoop in from Sam H is such a dangerous.
Yeah, with this blink dagger, this could catch them massively off guard. He gets it onto the silencer. Tim's comes in with a Wukong's command. That's going to be one dunk. They'll look for the chase down onto Mason. Moving forward with Raven on the Weaver, looking to take another. The heal from Bulba, not to be enough as DC lose a second. And TNC again, they secure that area around Roshan, get 2 big kills, pick up the Roche, put the Aegis into the hands of Cuckoo, and still maintain this lead in this game.
Very well controlled, like that area around that Radiant secret shop. They had eyes from the Monkey King on the tree vision. They had the axe swooping around. They had the observer wards being planted as well. They made sure they had vision all over that area to see DC coming in, and then even controlled it even further by dropping down the Wukong's command. Like, try and walk past this Wukong's command to get to Roshan. Well, they're not even going to win the fight through the Wukong's command, so TNC not only get Roshan, but they find the extra kills as well.
Bottom lane. Tim's messing around with the bounty rune.
It was scouted and still is being scouted by Dubu's Ricky. But no Quelling Blade or anything for Dubu. He can't really chop down those trees easily and doesn't have backup, so even if he does, isn't going to be able to kill off the Monkey Man. But likely we see TNC with Aegis in hand for Cuckoo's TA just start taking tower after tower. Nothing really to stop the TA at this point. And Blink Deso means not only are you threatening towers, but any heroes that come near to defend. Heroes like Silencer will just get blinked on, melded, and get 2-3 shotted. Alchemist will have issues as well, like his armor kind of suffers a little bit at this point. Has got the +4 armor now with the talent and the extra armor from the armlet, so that helps things a little bit against the TA for sure.
And bottom lane, TNC should take this tier 2 very quickly with Cuckoo's Desolator. And it looks like DC are just focused on trying to find something in trade. 5 members in the jungle. Tim's Still keeping himself safe upon the tree line. The rest of TNC back behind the tier 1 tower.
They're pretending to be pushing bottom lane, but they've already put themselves in a position to defend top and catch DC by surprise. Sam H is just waiting for someone to push this tower, and he's ready to jump. And they've got the ward there as well. This is a great place to fight for TNC.
Sam H with the jump forward, looking for Mason. Turns with the magic missile. DC, they do decide to go in on this fight. They pop the global silence. Bulba's there, in with the jewel. Sam H is down. They'll get themselves one clean kill, but TNC, they're ready to fight back. Raven chucks down the Bulba, goes for the TP out with the boundless strike there to cancel it. Will cost him his life almost certainly. They're even jumping past him for more. They say, mate, well, Raven, you finish off Bulba. Will manage to pick up a second as they get Dubu on the Ricky. And meanwhile, bottom lane, Cuckoo, he's soloing a tier 3, opening up the racks on the bottom.
Wow.
And TNC just getting so much done. He jumps in, one shot, and Demon's down to less than half health. And TNC are just getting so much done in these early stages of the game, and DC seem unable to stop it.
Yeah, it's completely snowballed out of control. Cuckoo able to do all that on his own. Sam H blinks in. Probably knows that if he misses that initial blink call, he's very likely dead. If he gets hit by a stun global silence, he's going to die, but he dies for the greater good. Once that global silence is down, Weaver can freely chase, Monkey King can freely chase. You've got these two great chasing heroes, even though Monkey King's just a support. He's got decent enough damage output with the phase boots, the medallion, and he
He's
complements
nearly
the
got
Weaver
Solar
well.
Crest as well.
Yeah, there was no real getting away for DC for everyone. You can go for like 3-4 man TP out, but 1 or 2 heroes are going to get hit by the Boundless Strike, and they're done for, and it's exactly what happens. And Shrines are now open for business as Cuckoo takes a tier 3, takes a Shrine. He's playing just off by himself, but why not? You're TA with 11k net worth, you're miles ahead of the Alk. Not many heroes that can kill you once, let alone twice, and, well, that's going to be, yeah, just pretty straightforward stuff for him. Mason's gone back for a Midas on Venge. This is just one of those, you look at this game and you're like, well, the only way DC wins this game is if they somehow turtle out and it goes for super long. There's no item for Venge, which is going to help you right now. Like, you're not farming well, so you may as well get an item that helps you farm, and you just hope that you win one fight and then suddenly you drag the game out for another 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes. So while this game could end in the next 5 minutes, and it's like, well, the game ended in 5 minutes, why do you go Midas? The only way they win is if this game goes 20, 30 more minutes. So he's playing to their win condition, as small of a win condition as that is.
TNC with the smoke up, ready to go for big plays. They spot the courier, they will be tempted, and they do take it out. That will mean the rest of DC are able to react to this and start to back away. Sam H may still get the call on Mason, and indeed he does. Jumps down, grabs the Venge, and the amount of physical just bursting Mason down low. He does swap himself back up to the high ground, but Cuckoo, he jumps forward, will be held back momentarily by the magic missile from Mason, which will keep Venge alive. So TNC won't find the kill. Global Silence still available. DC, can they do anything to stop this push though on the tier 2? And it doesn't look like they can. They'll have to let the tower go.
Not a tower you bother defending. I'll let it go. And TNC losing Aegis now will probably just focus their efforts on the Shrine in that last outer tower. Knowing that's unlikely DC make a full commitment to defend. DC don't want to fight. Like, you get this, you're not getting this Midas on Venge to try and take a 5v5 fight. You might theoretically go for a smoke into try and find a pick-off using your silences, but there is no way in hell you want a 5v5. You've got an Alk trying to get a Radiance. You've got a Venge with a Midas. You are looking to drag this game for as long as humanly possible without engaging into TNC. One lost fight and you lose a Rax and most likely the game. So TNC, the best thing you can do, take whatever towers are easy to pick off, force your opponents to stop farming and come back and defend their high ground. So they'll probably take this tier 2 top and even threaten to chip at the tier 3 top just to kind of keep DC to defend things.
Bulba pressuring out bottom, but again, this initiation, Sam H with the jump, catches Bulba initially. Dubu is there in the neighborhood. They'll actually throw the dust out, so they know where Dubu is. The meld strike into the dunk from TNC to cut down Bulba, and they're ready to look for more. With the dust still on Dubu, who's caught in amongst the creeps, taken down as well. It's a second for TNC. And mid lane, the blood is not ended up spilling as they look for Arbed as well. Wukong's command, the physical damage is too much at this stage of the game, and TNC just seem to be running away with this game too. 14 for 2 at the moment. Alk absolutely not in the position that he needed to be. He's still 2k behind the Weaver, about 5,000 net worth behind this TA at this stage of the game. Cuckoo has just had an absolute star game. A bit of vice versa. Game 1, we saw Arbed have an amazing mid-performance. This time, absolutely turned on its head, and Cuckoo is the star of the show.
pretty bold pick, the Alchemist into the TA, and they picked it after the TA was picked, and we're seeing it get punished here. It really is a tough lane matchup. Oh, I mean, Alk has a lot of tough lane matchups. He just doesn't care that he loses the lane as long as he farms. But the great thing that Cuckoo did this game was he went in. Not only did he contest Alk jungling, but he stole the Alk's jungle with that 2-minute long respawn time on these neutral camps. He just comes in, he takes some camps. If Alk stacks, he takes the double stack. TA, one of the better heroes, obviously, perhaps one of the best mids to farm actual neutral or ancient stacks, just punished the Alk and took away his farm while killing him on numerous occasions. So TNC have played this beautifully as far as shutting down an Alchemist, and the side lanes just didn't put enough pressure on. DC started with an aggro tri-lane, but very quickly that fell apart. They TP'd Mason down bottom. It really felt like they had this idea of pressuring the lanes to create space for Alk, but once that backfired, there was no like plan B. There was nothing to really fall back on because they didn't have like great mid-game kind of smoke rotation heroes.
Dubu coming out. There's no detection down at the moment around this area, so he will safely be able to scout some of the movements of TNC out. Knows where Sam H's positioning is. And TNC definitely sticking around, wanting to fight.
Nice.
But DC do know.
Yeah, gets down the observer ward, so they see everything here.
Yeah.
TNC may not realize they're being scattered, but at the same time, DC see everything. They're probably thinking like, let's not fight this one.
They know Dubu's around. They don't have the vision that deep though, so Dubu's still safe for the time being. And TNC just pressuring onto towers. They don't care about getting kills as long as they're getting these objectives
Definitely
consistently.
time to get a gem, you know, stuff like that happens. It's not even about finding the Riki, it's about finding the wards just as much. But also, once Riki sees the gem, he can't just do what he just did. He just went out, he scouted 5 heroes by himself. This allowed like heroes to farm bottom. It allowed Mason as well as Abed to get into the jungle. Abed's just going to pick up like, what, a couple bounty runes. He gets an illusion rune now. He's going to finish his Radiance just because of the Riki scouting all that out. Problem is, Abed's now walked through the river and Cuckoo has found it.
He goes for the TP out.
Oh,
the neutral creeps the Centaur.
What?
Doing it. But he
Why
popped,
did it stop?
well, he popped the illusion rune, didn't he? He had the illusion there, I believe.
I thought the illusion was... Oh, they're going to GG. I thought the illusion was at the... oh, yeah, he had one illusion and he killed it instantly. But, yeah...
The presence of the illusion, he killed
his
himself.
own illusion killed himself,
Oh.
I love that. That's like the most anticlimactic ending, but it's pretty fitting, you
And
know?
that's where you call GG.